Hi, my name's Crystal, and this is my oral presentation for University Success at Fresno Pacific University. I am 29 years old and currently in my young adult transition stage of life. I am starting to think about who I am as a person, where I want to be, who I want to become, the type of morals I want to instill in my children. I am currently going to school. I'm in my last semester at Fresno Pacific University to be a teacher. Things that stuck out to me in this course was the Changing Your Thought Patterns ebook that we read earlier on. I learned something about myself in this course during the assessment, that I sometimes have a pessimistic attitude about my homework or my educational journey or just about life in general. Changing your thought patterns is an idea where you redirect your thoughts and not suppress them, but redirect them to a more positive attitude. Creating a mental dam in your head, recognizing triggers that set off emotions that you don't like or don't make you feel that great. This quote that I wrote down I'll share with you: drains often build rivulets. Initially, they're just small rivulets, but each time the rain falls, the rivulets cut deeper and deeper. And if we have something negative in our life or bringing us down, like the stress of work or stress of homework or taking care of the kids, and we just let that one thought say, well, and it keeps just cutting and cutting and cutting. Instead, what we need to do is realize that that thought or that particular obstacle is bringing us down and try and have a more positive outlook on it. A strategy to maintain a positive thought pattern is to have positive self-talk, use supportive sources like your family and friends, and talking to God. Praying is definitely a spiritual wellness that can just provoke a joy within us and help us maintain a positive attitude. Another thing that stuck out to me was the You Are Special video by Max. It had great illustrations, and as an inspiring teacher, I thought it was a great tool to help young children and young minds understand the complexity of just society and judgment. This short story was about a wooden boy who you can get a gray dot based on your abilities or appearances. The gray dots were not that great, you didn't want them, and they stuck all over you, and people realized how many gray dots you had. Or you can get a golden star if you were great and other people thought you were great. This little wooden boy had all gray dots. And then he met a girl that had no gold stars and no dots, and he wanted to know how she was pure in a way. So she took him to the woodmaker, Eli, who I believe to be a representation of God. And Eli said, it doesn't matter what other people think about you. Like, I'm the one who made you, and I love you no matter who you are. And I thought that this was a great way to just kind of inspire everybody not to judge, because you don't know what they're going home to and the way that it makes them feel when they're, laying in bed alone at night. Another thing that I really thought was motivational to me and kind of inspired me to keep going was the David Blaine video. He tested all boundaries mentally and physically. He had no limitations on what he believed that he could do. And he was successful simply because he didn't give up, he believed in himself, and he had diligence. He just kept going. I think that video and just his story, it was something that I shared with my friends after watching it, and because I reiterated and told coworkers and friends and stuff about it, it stuck with me. And I hope to be more like him in my educational path and just in life in general, and just realize what I want and go for it, and realize that there are no obstacles that I cannot break down. There are no limitations. After my assessment, I realized that I've got some areas to grow in. We all can keep continuing to work on ourselves. I plan on growing in my attitude towards things. Like I said, I am in the last semester, and I think that after a year of school, it's easier to be motivated in the beginning than it is towards the end. You start to feel like, okay, is it done? Is it over yet? And you just have to keep telling yourself, keep going, and realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. My attitude has to go with my thought patterns. So the book that we read, Changing Your Thought Patterns, and also trying to grow in my area of attitude kind of coincide with each other. Using prayer, using supportive services, and just making sure that I'm keeping my eye on the prize. That also coincides with motivation, which was another area that I needed to grow in. Motivating myself to continue to do stuff that makes me happy. And after I'm done completing an assignment, I feel so much better than I did when I first started it. The burden of, I have to get this done, I have so much work to do, but then after I'm done doing it, I feel accomplished, and I feel really good about myself that I was able to finish it. And the other area of growth would be time management. We were expected to create a calendar, which is linked to my Google account, and I now get notifications for everything that I have to do after making that calendar. In the morning, I get a notification before my alarm even goes off to take my son to school. I have work at 6:30. I get a notification. Assignments due by midnight, notification. So that kind of helped me just keep that stuff like in the front of my mind, that this stuff has to be done. So the calendar that we were expected to do kind of put time restraints on stuff and just helped me remember everything that I had to do, because we're all busy, we all have lives. So that was definitely something that's been helping me, and I plan on keep doing. Another time management strategy that I'm using is just organizing and prioritizing what needs to be done first, what's more important, things that I want and things that I need. And I think that to maintain a healthy motivation and a healthy attitude, that we need to keep doing things that aren't necessarily a responsibility, but keep us just happy, and it helps us motivate each other and motivate ourselves to continue doing what we want to get done. For this oral presentation, and after reviewing the tutorial that was provided for me, the triple P strategy was definitely something that I was able to relate to. Triple P, prepare, prepare, prepare. I once did an oral presentation for Common Core, which was required of 30 minutes, which was the longest oral presentation I have ever done. I was very nervous about it, so I reviewed my cards over and over and over again. I tend to talk fast when I get nervous. I reached the 30-minute mark and kept going and still felt like I had a lot of stuff to say. But when I was done, my peers and classmates and my teacher all said that I did a great job, and I was well prepared, and that was the only way that I got through that oral presentation. Other presentations that I haven't been that prepared for I get sidetracked and don't really know what I'm saying. I stumble a lot. I don't recognize the words on my card. It's almost like you lose everything once you get up there and talk sometimes. And I just want to thank you for this course, and I'm hanging in there. This course has been motivational to me to keep going. Thank you very much.